Usually I gotta roll up my cuffs for somebody. I'm gonna roll my sleeve down for Tyler. Let's get it. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. After y'all asked, I'm gonna do it. This is Ruthless, Season 1, Episode 1. Okay, so you all know where we're at. This show is a spinoff from Tyler Perry's show, The Oval. And in The Oval, there is a cult, and that's what they are. There's no other way to even put it. They are a cult called the Rakaduchis. And they are really into basically trafficking children, um, really demeaning and quieting women. No respect for the women. The women are like slaves. Um, and they really do that in that cult. They literally, the women basically do all the worst shit. Like the women are the ones out there stealing cars and grabbing babies and luring folks to where they can overpower. Yeah, the women ain't nothing but pawns in the little game that they playing. Um, and as I'm watching the, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. It ain't. It's just a feeling that I'm getting. The Rakadushis has a whole homoerotic thing going on. The men seem to have a whole thing going on. The men feel like they're dating not so much each other, but they're it's like the men seem like they're the ones in the harem and the women are there to clean up. That's just how it feels to me. And this is just in season 1. I'm just looking at how they the what do they call the guy who runs them? Um the most high or the highest. Whatever. But they're all like a harem, but it's all boys. I said, oh, I guess I don't want none. Anyway, we ain't seen him yet. First episode, we see Ruth. Ruth actually has abducted her daughter Callie, and they're in the car and they're on their way. They got, like I said, the slave. The one woman is sitting there. She's driving, and Lynn. Her name is no, not Lynn. What is her name? I can't think of her name right now. But she's the other. There's two of them. There's Ruth, and then there's this other girl. She's Tally. Her name is Tally. That's her name. Tally. Tally's driving the car, and there's a guy in the back, and it seems as though he has some connection to Tally. Seems as he has some type of connection to Tally. And the guy in the front has a connection to old Harem Scarum, honey, the highest. He's a cute little curly head, little something, but he act like he's the Robin to the highest as Batman, honey. And he's running this little operation. And Tally, the little girl, Callie, was having the fit. She's crying and different things like that. Well, she just been abducted. She's crying, and Ruth is her mother. The father had, that's all from the Oval. The father actually had custody, but she yanked her. So she's crying and saying, I want my daddy. I want to go back. And of course, the little girl snapped, said, my daddy going to come and tear you up, honey. Because the one guy was like giving the little girl, telling her, shut up, shut her up. This, that, other. She said, you shut up, ugly. I said, oh, she too damn grown. I said, girl, you're not going to make it. So they were going through all this. They're in the car. Tally says, she's just a kid. She's scared. He said, what'd you say to me? What'd you say? So we start to see right away how the males dominate. He ended up punching her in her face and making her wreck the car. He socked her in her face, honey, in the car. They bammed into a tree. Got out, told her, first he told her leave the baby girl there with him. And she's like, well, we're going to teach her, you know, what she didn't know. Told the two women and little girl, y'all go and get a car and come back here. And they're like miles out from wherever they are supposed to be going to. And They said, I think we seen a house like a mile back. They walked back a mile back and ended up still in a truck. And the man that owned the truck ended up running out there to try to get him. They fighting with the man, Tally. He fighting with the man, and he done ripped her garment, and the wife done shot through the back of the truck. It was a whole mess. Some mess that the men should have been doing, not them women out there hot wiring trucks and stealing shit. It was a mess. But they're there, so the two guys are there, and they're talking. He's sitting up asking him questions about this Most High soul, okay? And he's saying, oh, have you had your cleansing yet? And he's like, no. And he's asking, his name is Daikon. That was his name, Daikon. And the other guy's name is Andrew. Andrew is asking him questions. And Andrew's actually, well, we found out later, Andrew is actually an undercover FBI agent who has gone into the Rakaduchis as undercover and then been converted. A mess. Been converted. But anyway, Daikon was telling him, when you get your cleansing, it's going to help with all these things, this, that, the other. He's asking, well, what is the cleansing? What is it? And he's going to say, you asking too many questions. This, that, thing, and the other. He said, well, I want to tell you, he said, I have sexual desires. And he gonna say, your cleanse will help with that. I said, That's what I said right away. I said, baby, let me tell you what your sexual cleanse is getting ready to be. The highest is getting ready to isac your soul, honey. He's getting ready to run right on up in you sideways, baby. That's what's going to be the issue. And I said, wait a minute. So when he started talking this mess and told him the cleanse is going to help you with your sexual desires, and that you got to be careful. Don't trust anyone, and especially not the women. I said, this is some old, I can't say the word that I said, but it's some old bullshit going on. This is some harem stuff. It's all homoerotic, harem scarum bullshit. The women ain't nothing but there to clean up and to raise them children. That is what this is about. Child, the Rakaduchis. I said, child, listen, I've been doing the Oval since the Oval came on, and I always laugh at the name Rakaduchis, but I'm going to really laugh at it now because the Oval comes back this week. I'm going to really be laughing because now I know it's a sister gang, honey, the Rakaduchis. I'm going to really be laughing. That was my sister's, child. Anyway, here I go being totally disrespectful. Yeah, I am. And yeah, I said it. Sister group. Anyhow, so on the other side, we got Rollins, cute little brown skin little piece, and Len. Len is his wife. They up in there getting down, baby. He's showing Len how to do it, honey. And they got stopped right in the middle of sex. His boss is outside, tells him, put clothes on. We need to talk. So they had to get out of bed, come downstairs. He gets to telling them about Andrew and how Andrew ain't reported in, this, that, thing, and the other. Tells them all about the Rakaduchis, blah, 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 blah. They want to send him in. You know Tyler's long-winded, child. They want to send him in to infiltrate. And we found the highest, his name is Louis Tyrone Luckett. And he started calling himself the highest when he was in jail. Okay? So they want to send him and his wife. The wife was giving some pushback. She's like, I ain't got time for this. I'm tired of getting up moving. I'm tired of doing all these things that you do when you are part of the FBI's. Your spouse is part of FBI. So she's a teacher. Okay? She said, I just got settled and all of that. He told her, just look at the file. Look at the file. She looked at the file, seen the kids. She loves kids. That got her all interested. So then she tells her husband the next day, I'm only going to do it if you let me go undercover as well. And that's when we found out that she is a former Marine officer. She's a former Marine, and she was a police officer as well. So she wants to go in, and be a part of it. She wants to save these children. He told her, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That ain't get ready to happen. So she was looking in his laptop and looking in the files and nebbing. I said, "What you doing, Lynn, honey? What you doing?" She did all that. In the midst of that, let's go back over to the compound. On this compound where they stay, everybody's all separated out. The children are all in one trailer, and it's just weird. The women are separated out from the men. Child, I told y'all. Anyway, Andrew, we found out that Andrew has a thing for Tally, and they were sneaking talking, and we done found out. He said they need to stay away from each other so people don't pick up on what's going on. And she done messed around and got pregnant because he done slid some oil to her, honey. And so here she done got pregnant. I said, that ain't good. That is not good. And as they're having their conversation, Daikon pops up and tells Andrew, "What are you talking to her for?" He said, "I was talking to her about her punishment for the stuff she did last night and all of that, and telling her she was wrong or whatever." He was like, "That ain't even what your job is. You get away from her. Let's go." I said, "Y'all gonna get in trouble." Anyway, so they stopped with them there. Next thing we see Lynn coming onto the compound. She comes onto the compound and pretends like she's some battered woman who seeked them out because she told a whole lie about meeting two women in a store. Andrew steady questioning her, and he brings her onto the compound, and he's walking her, telling her he's going to go. He said, "You'll have to talk to the highest." And she's like, "Okay, good." So he's taking her to see the highest. Ends up walking her into a trailer, and then the next thing you know, two men come in, they overpower her, and he's like pours some shit down her throat. And that's where this premiere episode ended. Okay, y'all. So this is it now. I done watched this first episode. We get ready to go on into this Rakaduchis. I'm gonna try to stomach this with y'all, but y'all know me and Tyler is in the midst of a good battle about him and his writing style right now. And all I'm hearing is, "Oh, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good." I hope y'all are telling the truth, because I ain't fighting with trying to stay interested. I ain't doing it. So right now, I'm cool. I'm cool. But I'm just telling y'all, I ain't fighting with trying to stay interested. Because when it start getting too corny, I'm committed to have and have nots. But child, we're going to see. But this seems pretty good so far. Pretty good so far. But definitely a lot going on with these Rakaduchis. I can't wait to see what else they got going on and see if I'm actually right about them. But I think they're just a sister group personally, and they don't like no damn women at all. I think the women are there just to clean up after them. This is gonna be a mess. Anyway, all right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later.